Welcome back to Red Bull Solo Queue Review. Today we're going over top moments from the third qualifier of the US Tournament Series. Before we get into the action dash, let's remind our viewers about the rules and win conditions for those 1v1 battles.
This premier tournament series sees amateur players square off against each other 1v1 in the top lane of Summoner's Rift. Now to win, you must eliminate your opponent. First to 2 eliminations under 7 minutes, or first elimination after the 7-minute mark. There's another option, which is to be the first to take your opponent's outer turret down, or the first to reach 100 CS. This third qualifier saw hundreds of players duke it out over the course of 11 rounds in the winner's bracket and 16 rounds in the loser's bracket. Let's kick off this recap starting in the finals round, number 9, best of 3 games. Now, climbing to the winners finals in Qualifier 3 was Showtimer and CP Freeze. To get here, Showtimer outsmarted their opponents on Mage Champions, while CP Freeze used their mechanical skill and marksman picks to outplay. What will happen when these two different styles of Red Bull Solo Queue clash though? Let's find out.
In Game 1, CP Freeze used their Callista to out-sustain and out-farm Showtimer's Heimerdinger. But leaving the Callista unbanned in Game 2 means Showtimer is confident with their counter, Nico.
Unfortunately for Showtimer, they underestimated Callista's Hail of Blades as CP Freeze secures a health lead in the early game.
Out of potions and down on farm, Showtimer tries to step up to the wave only to be cut off and rend for first blood by CP Freeze. As the lane resets, Showtimer shows us how they made it this far with a great combo onto CP Freeze. However, CP Freeze gets the last laugh as they walk under tower and take a huge trade, evening the health bars again.
After a bit more poke, Showtimer snipes a snare and goes in for the elimination, but CP Freeze's combo executes them before they even think to bury it, securing the win and moving on. Meeting Showtimer in the losers finals is Kind Jungle, someone who Showtimer beat and sent to the losers bracket earlier in this qualifier. Will Kind Jungle find a way to defeat Showtimer's mages, or will Showtimer take them down yet again?
Kind Jungle has used bruiser champions thus far and opts to play Pantheon, but Showtimer, in a surprise turn of events, strays from the mage archetype and goes with Lucian. Will this work in Kind Jungle's favor, or can Showtime show us their superior skills as a marksman?
Now earlier in the game, as Lucian hits level 2, they catch Kind Jungle too close to the wave and cleanly chunks Kind Jungle's Pantheon. Despite the unfortunate start, Kind Jungle shows us some of the mechanics of their own, evening the health with a clean trade while Showtimer's Q was on cooldown.
After denying a cannon minion, Kind Jungle dives onto Showtimer, but they eat away just in time. Continuing to charge forward, they trade summoner spells, but the early health lead of Showtimer leaves them walking away with first blood.
Now, at an item disadvantage, Kind Jungle has trouble laning versus a bullying Lucian. They decide instead to bide their time, waiting for that 7-minute mark where a single elimination means victory. While great on paper, Showtimer's health and sustain from the Doran's Blade stacking makes that a near impossible task. As they dive in one last time, blowing summoners in the process, Showtimer claims their victory with health to spare.
Now in the grand finals, Showtimer gets their shot at revenge. But what pick will they come up with to defeat CP Freeze? We jump into Game 1 and see Showtimer's Heimerdinger versus CP Freeze's Lucian.
Right off the bat, we see why Showtimer prefers mages, sniping CP Freeze for a ton of damage with some well-timed skill shots. Immediately after though, CP Freeze catches Showtimer and goes for the all-in. As summoners get traded, Showtimer lands a fantastic stun while in range of 2 turrets, turning the tables entirely. CP Freeze tries to sneak back into the lane, only to be eliminated with one last skill shot from Showtimer.
After some back and forth poke, CP Freeze catches Showtimer yet again, dodging the stun this time. They go for the elimination with the ult, but the barrage of Heimer rockets force them to retreat towards the tri-bush.
Once again, CP Freeze is unable to enter the tri-brush due to the rules as they wait in purgatory. Eventually, Showtimer shows up to ferry his soul to Game 2. As we load into Game 2, we see quite an unusual pick with CP Freeze on Nunu. Nunu recently has seen some success in the mid position due to their wave clear as well as their roaming capability. Let's see if CP Freeze has the know-how to make this pick work here in the Red Bull Solo Queue tournament.
Here in the early game, we can see Nunu's unique strength, being the only champion in the game that can one-shot 3 caster minions at level 1. Not only that, Nunu has the ability to consume Heimerdinger's turrets, which may help even the odds.
And with their second snowball, they show us how much damage and how difficult it is to dodge this ability in lane. But as Showtimer hits level 2, both players quickly learn that snowball strategy is hard countered with a well-aimed stun grenade.
CP Freeze struggles to survive under the rain of turrets, but at level 6 they find their moment. Catching Showtimer's habit of walking too far forward, they pounce, landing the snare followed by a huge ultimate. Barrier barely keeps Showtimer alive as the Hex Tech Rockets make quick work of Nunu for first blood. Eager to get on to the next game, CP Freeze forfeits, and for the first time in the US Red Bull Solo Queue Qualifier tournament, we have a bracket reset in the grand finals.
Now with only one best-of-3 series standing between them and victory, Showtimer picks their tried and true Nico, while CP Freeze goes with Aurelia. Early in the game, Showtimer continues to show their skill shot prowess, landing the full Nico combo and creating an important health lead. As CP Freeze goes to shove in the early wave, Showtimer catches them with a clutch snare on their last dash, following up and easily getting first blood.
The game continues as Showtimer rains skill shots down, but Aurelia's lifesteal keeps her health high throughout the beating. CP Freeze then hits a stun onto Showtimer, who attempts to use Shape Splitter to escape the attack. Capitalizing on the opportunity, CP Freeze follows up with an insane dodge of Nico's E, securing the elimination and winning Game 1.
Just like in their previous Lucian match, Showtimer gets a lot of work done with their level 2 power spike, taking a good amount of health off of CP Freeze. But as they hit level 4, CP Freeze catches Showtimer without their E, dealing a ton of damage and forcing summoners. Showtimer retaliates and eventually takes them down, but dies to the minions soon after. It's anyone's game as we enter an early sudden death. Next elimination wins.
As both players stack Doran's blades, trading becomes more and more difficult, with neither player losing much health in the process. Instead, they both decide to go for a CS victory. Both players reach exactly 93 CS with a cannon wave approaching. Whoever gets to eliminate their entire minion wave first wins. CP Freeze starts off with an ult, chunking down the minions and forcing Showtimer's retreat. Then they dance through the minion wave, using Q to easily last hit every minion before finishing the cannon and becoming our third US Red Bull Solo Queue Tournament Qualifier champion.
CP Freeze dominates through this tournament and even threw some dramatic twists our way. All finalists walk away with prizes, but the shiny new top-of-the-line PC and monitor plus all the swag goes to CP Freeze, winner of our Red Bull Solo Queue Qualifier number 3.
As always, thanks for joining us. We love being here to give you the best of the best amateur 1v1s in the country. This has been Red Bull Solo Queue Review for the 3rd US Qualifier. Stay tuned for the last and final qualifier in the coming weeks.
Register now for your last chance to compete. redbull.com/play-soloqueue.
Follow at Red Bull Gaming on Twitter for the latest news. Tune in to twitch.tv/Red Bull Sunday, November 15th for the Red Bull Solo Queue US Championship.